Today we had an opportunity, and it's a rare opportunity this time of year, to get out on the open road with the MT09 and shoot some photos with the all the modifications that we've made and all the unique things I've tried to do to the bike. And it seems like response to the questions and answers on YouTube has been really good. So I got a real positive attitude this morning. I'm going to try to head up north where the lakes are and see if they're all frozen. Maybe they're not. Not today, the weatherman predicted rain in the afternoon, but it's going to be nice this morning. And even if we get a short ride, I'd rather get any ride at all than no ride watching the raindrops fall. But we're at the part of the year where it's pretty unpredictable, but I always try to plan if we do get a break like we're going to get this morning. I like to get out on the open road, shoot some pictures, shoot some video, share it with my friends. So I started off the day thinking I'm going to do my normal pre-flight, check the air and the tires, of course, check the chain, make sure that's lubed and in good shape. That all worked out okay. And clean the bike up just a little bit. And most important thing, make sure I've got my wallet with me, because I've heard the price of gas is going to the roof here in New Jersey, and it's over $5 a gallon for high test. I guess we're going to find out, that's for sure. But anyway, this is a brand new set of tires. I've never ridden them before. So I always like to, and I know it's really overkill, I like to take one ride where it's not too aggressive. And the roads are still wet. It rained the night before, so where we ride, usually the roads stay wet a lot longer than they do down here. And it'll give me a good excuse when I get back to clean the whole bike up meticulously. And once the birds are fed and we have a cup of coffee, we're ready for the open road. And what's funny, with extra people living here, it's just an excuse to drink extra coffee. Time to suit up and get out. Now look at this. This is what I love early in the morning. Just looking out in the driveway and seeing the baby out there. This is one of my favorite areas to ride. There's a lot of lakes up in this area, and one of the problems is some of them are still frozen. I passed one already that's frozen, but most of them are not. Most of them are melted, so I think we're a week away from having no ice on any of the lakes. Now, I was thinking as I was riding today about our friend Stefan in Romania, and radar detectors being illegal, you get years in jail. Ooh, boy, that would take the fun out of some of the riding up in this area anyway, where they're pretty strict. If you don't have a radar detector, you're So today we actually started with a new test. This is a fresh set of the brand new. This is the first ride on a set of Michelin 5s. And we're going to do a meticulous test as well as test the other ones that are going to go on another bike very soon. And because most of the parts of the roads we're riding in this area, they're wet still today, and we had a lot of rain the last couple of days. So this puts the tires to a good test, and the Michelin 5 seem to be great on wet roads. And one of the things that makes this bike really just a lot of fun to ride, it's hard to describe to people. It's got that grunty low-end torque, that triple engine, and the tuning Yamaha did, a lot of fun. Now, I've had plenty of bikes, especially some of the two-strokes that were tuned. They were no fun unless you were running them at maximum RPM. This bike is great. Right off idle, even in one gear too high, it's just fun. Now, I did spend almost the whole winter trying to make this bike unique in some ways, small ways, subtle changes that don't jump out at you. But when you look at it today in the bright sun, up against a nice background or a lake, worth every minute. And especially the wheels. There was a labor of love doing those wheels and grinding and all that polishing and sanding and buffing. And today, we cash in our chip.
Looks like one of the old firehouses with a fire hose out in front. Pretty cool. Wonder if that is a real fire. Looks like it anyway.
And up in this area, there's always some older buildings, older barns, some roads that you don't know where they go. You're tempted to just do a little exploring, and I try to do a little bit on every ride, and I always seem to find something that I didn't realize was there before. You can usually tell by the lakes. When the lakes don't have any ice on them at the end of the winter like they do right now, only a few of the lakes, actually only one had some ice, that you can hope within the next couple of weeks we're going to really have some beautiful days to And thank you to all of YouTube, the people that have left comments on how they liked the way this video presentation played out with showing these little unique features I made for the bike. Thank you one and all. I appreciate that. Now when I pulled in for gas, of course this bike gets 50 miles to the gallon, so you're out on the road for a while. 529 for high test. Wow, am I glad this bike gets good mileage. Oh, and it wasn't that long ago we were energy independent and that gas was less than $2 a gallon. Holy mackerel. Somebody is getting rich. I'll bet it's Luciano or Turbo Steve. I think Turbo Steve is the one getting rich on this gas. He must own stock in Exxon or something. Now I've got several more little detail changes I want to make to the bike, but every time I make a change, I do that photo shoot thing, and John and I actually picked the photo that we're going to use on the t-shirts that we're going to make. So I'm real happy, but I'm going to shoot more photos today. Now, as I got a little bit further north, there was still some salt on the road. I was, maybe they're still getting temperatures below freezing at night. I don't know, but most of it is gone only because we had so much rain in the last couple days. So, goodbye, salt.
This is the first ride we had up north here where there isn't any ice on the lakes at all. Almost nothing. I guess spring is in the air. That's the bottom line.
And as I was pre-flighting the bike this morning, I saw the birds and I heard them chirping, and they're probably making nests already. And I really feel like after this ride, during the ride, spring is really in the air. And one thing I'm always grateful for as I get further and further into a ride, I usually have about 3 to 4 hours to do my thing. And somewhere around the third hour, you start really appreciating how comfortable that seat is. That seat is more comfortable than it looks. And I'm always really happy as I go through the populated areas to know I have the stock muffler on a bike and it's got a nice rumble, but not loud. Because I've heard some MT09s, actually a lot of sport bikes, they're just way too loud for me. I guess the only really little negative thing today was the roads never really dried up, and new tires and wet roads, not the combination you really want for aggressive riding. And one of the nice things about riding up in this area, there's very low traffic, and I won't comment about the law enforcement, but that jivvy bag with the radar detector, it's the only weapon you have when they start setting up these radar traps. And I spent a lot of time polishing that exhaust system, and the only person that's ever mentioned that they were impressed was Michelle. Luciano doesn't even know it's been polished, I don't think. Well, with the ride over, the only thing left is that boring 30-mile ride back on the main roads, especially Route 80, where there's more radar than there are non-radar areas. And the thing beeps half of the way you're up there. But anyway, without a radar detector, it's really a rough haul, even up in this area. It's rough. So I hope you did enjoy sharing a ride with us. There was still one lake that had some ice on it. Other than that, it looks like we're going to have some nice weather coming up very soon. I'm hoping. Anyway, you got to hope for the best here. Anyway, this was a really nice day to get out on the open road and get some miles on the new tires, get some miles on the MT09, and be able to, at the end of the day, share it with you. Now, it's been a long, brutal winter, and I've absorbed most of it into making changes to the MT09 and doing a couple of mitzvahs for other people. But basically, the changes I've made to the bike and the photos I have now on my computer, and as I look back over the videos and having this bike now instead of the one I had when I bought it, I'm pretty happy. And I never get sick of that quick shifter. I just never get sick of it. And this whole bike I never get sick of. And I know what's happening. It's kind of taken over most of the time I ride. I grab the MT09 out of the collection. But anyway, that's going to all change as soon as the weather really warms up and we get into the real riding season. We will be riding all the bikes, that's for sure. And I'm looking forward to some meetups. I've missed a lot of it because we're running a bed and breakfast here, probably for another month. But in the end, and it's like the MT09, the whole MT09 project, it was really brutal all winter, working and painting and buffing. But now it's done. And now I've got the bike. And hopefully I'll have this bike with all the mods and the wheels and everything. I'll have it forever. And thanks everyone so much for watching.